going to start in about 2 minutes.
Right.
I can try one, Daddy, she said.
Oh, I just made a little one.
I'm bad. I was going to say, we got jackets. Yeah, we're good.
You got
sweatpants. You're the last one left, Egan, on Halloween.
balls. That can't hurt. Just know that you can hit just about anywhere else. Watch the eyeball.
That's not really a thing anymore. I don't think they do it.
On the border of Arkansas and Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
And she went to the cop real. I think she went to clean one too, don't she?
When we were coming up, it was just expected us on Halloween night to get together in your...
That sounds like a place we'd hang out.
I was going to say, that's where I would expect you to be.
So what were you on for? Tacos or what? Kentucky.
Oh, yeah, you want this? Right, yeah. I guess she's older. She will. On my menu.
I'm going to lay back over here. This is probably do my face like a full
I know. Did you see that?
All right, I guess we're going to start this up, Kel.
All right, darling. I got you covered. All right, Elena Marie, come here.
All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and start this thing up. Welcome to the Green Oasis, also sponsored by the Blind Rabbit Vape Supply. We're very grateful for that. This is going to be, for the most part, a clean show. Some of us ain't so good at that, so try to be a little forgiving if we slip up here and there. Let's see. So I want to go ahead and introduce tonight's host, very funny guy from La Center, Kentucky, Mr. Jacob Sullivan.
How we doing tonight? Good. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. Y'all gonna be doing anything, and y'all out here, that's nice. Give yourselves a round of applause for that. That's good. Love to see it. On the route over here, I didn't realize Missouri was so flat. I come from Kentucky, and when I was driving over here, it's so flat, I didn't realize you could like watch your dog run away. Like, it just goes on forever. A little bit about me, I go to community college. Community college is all right though, but I don't like it because it makes me feel like I'm drinking a Sam's Cola. You know that feeling you get when you're drinking a Sam's Cola, and it's just like, I feel poor. That's exactly what it's like to go to community college. It ain't all bad though, you know. I live in a small town, but I'm on a dating apps, and that goes all right for me. Sometimes women, they put funny stuff in their bios, like future shotgun rider or your mama's new favorite. But sometimes they'll put stuff in there that'll like really make me laugh. Like if you a 400-pound woman, there's no need to put in your Tinder bio hard to handle. We already know. If I can't put my arms around you, you gonna be handling me before this is all said and done. I don't think they should let everybody on there either though, you know, like I think like they should have like a test or something to let people on those apps. Like I don't think they should let pregnant women be on the apps. Like I hate getting on Tinder and like looking for a girl to hang out with and then see a sonogram of a baby's face. It just kind of throws you off, you know. It just ain't that good. But that's a little bit about me. Our first comic tonight, he's from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and he's my favorite autistic comedian, Mr. Thomas Shaner. Give a big round of applause for us. Here we go. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? I'm a comedian. I have autism. That is nothing that makes me different from anybody else, other than I know somebody else who's a comedian with autism here, and he is really funny and got a second prize. So that was pretty awesome to see him perform. So let's hear it for Teal. Yeah! Woo! So I have when people ask me what my superpower is about having somebody having autism, I say my superpower is not giving the flying monkey butt about your opinions. You know, I do clean humor, you know, sometimes. So, you know, just you take those words and put whatever nasty things you think about it. That's exactly it, because I really don't give a hoot about what you think about me. And it's a very it's not like Batman where I don't have parents, but I do have a lot of money. But it's a pretty good superpower either way. So when it comes to me, like, you know, if people say you're really different, you're special, I'm like, I don't really care. Sorry, that's me. That's my superpower. I'm not gonna be in Justice League and say, "Oh, Justice League, what's your superpower?" It's like not giving a hoot about this. I'm sorry. You know, I guess I could try to, you know, get Joker in prison, but mostly I'll just, like, you know, sit in a corner and just do Xbox. I'm sorry. That's my thing. So I do dead panda humor. I mean deadpanned humor. I'm not responsible for all those dead pandas. I'm sorry. I don't have dead panda blood, although sometimes I feel like choking them because they're so cute and adorable that they make me feel inferior because I'm not as cute as those bears, and so I go. So PETA is probably going to give me a lawsuit. That's pretty much what's happening right now. PETA is going to definitely give me a lawsuit because I'm not a fan of panda bears at all. Now, dogs are another thing because I paint them and I get money. That's like a rap song. I do paint dogs and I get money, yeah. And those bitches. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I was talking about dogs. I wasn't talking about women. I don't like degrading women at all, except for just I don't know. So I do clean humor. Some of it is about COVID because I had COVID and it sucked pretty hard. It's like I was going to go to a comedy place. And it's like, guess what? You got COVID. I was like, fuck. Sorry. I'm sorry. Slipped up. I mean, what's the word? Fudge. I wanted to go to this open mic and now I can't. Now I'm just stuck here watching anime. Like anime is like this like thing that, you know, is like COVID. It just runs your life. It really does. So, yeah, like COVID is like a bad roommate. It doesn't leave. It really doesn't. But, you know, it doesn't have any taste, smell, so it won't tell, like, whenever you fart, it's not going to be offended. It's not going to be offended because there's no taste or smell. And he will eat your food from the refrigerator that's been there for 5 months, and they won't taste it. It's like, it's a very good roommate. And also, it also gets your parents out of your living room, because I know about you, but my living room looks like the Titanic. It is so dirty, so freaking dirty, that Jimmy Coffee is buried in it. Yes. Anyway, this is my time. I'm so sorry that I used the F word on stage. This is a new thing for me, trying to be clean. I'm usually very dirty about it because, you know, there's no fun in being a clean comic. I'm sorry. If you say the F word or C word or anything like that, it just makes you feel like you're an edgelord. Okay, take care.
Mr. Thomas Shaner, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if anybody brought a panda tonight, but y'all might want to watch out, keep an eye on him before y'all go. Our next comedian, I've been doing open mics with him for a while. He's a great guy. Mr. Jeremy Connor from Quinn, Missouri.
Hello, everybody. So, that is Culin, Missouri. A lot of people like to call it Quillin. Culin's mostly somewhat known for its corn and soybeans, but we are world famous for our homemade pharmaceuticals. I'm going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I am definitely by far the shortest comedian here. And I've made peace with that. Because I've had to, because all my life people's reminded me that I am short. Case in point, I've got a cousin that's about 6'3", 6'4". And he says, dang, man, you're the only guy I know that can sit down on a piece of toilet paper and dangle his feet off the edge. And that's hurtful, but what really bothered me was I turned 21 years old a long time ago, and he called me up, and he said, hey, man, you're legal to go drinking with me now, but I'm afraid you're going to get drunk, fall in your shot glass, and drown. But it's hard to be tough when you're my height, because like I'm not mean to my wife at all. I can't be, because I'm short and I stutter when I get aggravated, and it's a bad deal because I can't play that hard role and be like, do the dishes, bitch. She hit me. I want to talk about pizza parties. Have any of y'all ever had a pizza party at work?
Yeah.
So I can tell you what kind of health insurance you got by what kind of pizza you got that day. If you got Pizza Hut, your company somewhat likes you, because pizza's about as cheap as they can get. If they could throw ramen noodle packets at you, they would. But if you're getting Little Caesars pizza, your insurance sucks. I don't like wasting money. Me and my brother were two different people as far as that went, because when we were kids and he was old enough to drive, his car would be full of Mountain Dews with like a couple of sips out of them. And I'm like, man, we got a refrigerator. You could drink those tomorrow. And he would never do it. But someone that's financially responsible is Jeffrey Dahmer. He would still be using the same vat of acid to be making human bean dip right now if he hadn't got caught. I'm ashamed to tell this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. So, I was engaged with this girl for a while, and we was living together, and I had this inclination she was cheating on me. And we just kept getting more and more distant, and we was in the middle of a little makeout session, and partway through, I'm like, she is not into this. So I looked down at her, and I said, I can't do this unless I pretend you're Hulk Hogan. And she looked up at me, and she goes, what? I said, oh, baby, I'm just playing. Well, a few minutes later, somehow it's still on. And I said, hey, would you do me a favor? And she said, yeah. I said, I want you to look me right in the eye and say, let me tell you something, brother. That might have been the worst whooping I ever took in my life. Let's see, what else? Oh, another true dating story. I got set up on a blind date with this girl. Didn't know her. And she pulls her car in, and it's got Marvin the Martian, everything in there. Marvin Martian steering wheel covers, seat covers, the air fresheners, everything is Marvin the Martian. And so we go on this date at this little bar, and I'm just striking out left and right. And so I get to drink a little bit more and more. And I started feeling a little bit better about myself. I said, you know what? It's on tonight. She said, like heck. And I said, no, you can pretend to be your favorite character. And she goes, what? I go, you're coming to my place, you dirty slut. And the disgusting part is we dated for months after that. Women are sick. Let's see. Another true story. Me and my wife was riding around in Cape Girardeau, and it's just pouring rain like crazy. And we see this dog outside trying to make poopy, and he's got one of those cones of shame around his neck. And it is just storming. And I was like, dang, it's like Saw or something, like, I want to play a game. Can you poop before you drown? That poor little dog. couple more. My farmer and the cow story. You get to hear the good version. So there's this couple and they're driving around town and they decide to go off into the countryside. And they see this barn and it's got a big sign that says cow for sale for $30,000. And this guy says, man, I got to see this cow. So they pull in, the guy walks out and he sees the farmer. He says, man, I ain't here to buy, but I just got to see what a $30,000 cow looks like. He says, yeah, come on in. So they walk inside and the guy says, man, this is just a normal cow. He said, no, check this out. So he lifts that cow's udders up. Guy looks under, he says, my God, this cow's got the boobs of a woman. Farmer says, yeah, that's right. And so that guy's just shaken to the core. He slowly walks back to the car, slumped over. He starts crying. His wife says, baby, what's wrong with you? He said, that farmer there's got a cow with boobs like a woman worth $30,000. You've got the boobs of a cow and you ain't worth nothing. Oh, one last one. Forgive me, wife. This took some whittling down to make this PG-13. So, absolutely true story. Look at her right there. That's my wife. Oh, it's going to be a long ride home today. So, she came home excited with a brown paper bag. And she was all excited for me because she likes getting deals and stuff like that. And she said, hey, baby, I got something for you. And shoot, I'm excited. I like stuff. And I said, well, what you got for me? She said, well, check this out. So I reach in this brown paper bag and I feel something squishy. And I'm like, what is this? She said, pull it out and see. And I slowly pull out this jiggly lover rub butt. Rubber love butt. Messed that up. But anyway, I'm confused because I'm like, this ain't in a box. It's not wrapped up in any kind of packaging. I don't believe this is shiny and new. And she said, well, I said, did you just give me a secondhand rubber love butt? And she said, well, I mean, it was a friend of mine. She got it for her husband. He didn't want nothing to do with it. And I said, bull crap, he's a human male. I bet you he has loved this thing in all sorts of dirty ways. And I didn't want to be wasteful. So I'm like, well, maybe I could turn it to a pin holder or a beer cozy or something. So I got me some soap and some water and I made the nicest pencil holder y'all have ever seen. Guys, that's my time. Thank y'all very much.
Jeremy Connor, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Jeremy. I'm going to have to see you after the show about that guy with the cow. I'm going to have to figure out a little bit something about that. I got a friend, I don't know. Our next comedian coming to the stage, he's a 4 and 50-50 regular, so you know you're in for a treat. Mr. David Smith.
Woo! Let's hear it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Green Oasis, we out here. Woo! Yeah. I want to hear how loud you guys can get. Let me hear a loud cheer. Come on, give me something. Woo! There we go. Now we're doing it. How we doing tonight, guys?
Good.
Yeah. Now, I want you to know before you start freaking out, me doing stand-up in front of the woods, I kind of look like a Bigfoot hunter's fever dream, right? I wear these size 18s every single day of my life. Now, I live with it, and I want you guys to know how difficult it is. I can't find shoes anywhere, guys. You don't buy shoes just in a store, right? Where do you go to get shoes when you have size 18s? You go to this little lovely website, bigshoes.com. Now, I'm not joking, bigshoes.com. See, if you have big feet, you have a small brain. You got to figure it out. Big shoes, I need big shoes. Bigshoes.com. Yeah, I've always had these big feet. Now, I wasn't born with big feet, right? I didn't come out with size 18s. They didn't deliver me like a sectional, right? Like, okay, now turn. Congratulations. My dad always said, David, if you didn't have such big feet, you'd be 4 inches taller. I gotta admit, Dad, it's not where I'd put those 4 inches. Couldn't find shoes anywhere, man. My whole life, it's been a struggle. I played baseball when I was a kid, back when I was skinnier. Played baseball. We couldn't find cleats anywhere, so my dad just drove some nails through an old pair of sneakers. I was the only kid that year that stole every single base. Think about it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's a struggle, man. I can't go upstairs the right way. You guys go upstairs, I look at you in jealousy. I'm so upset. I got to go up sideways, right? So you ever have that feeling when someone's behind you and you're going upstairs, so you kind of go up faster? I look crazy, right? I'm just going, I'm sorry. It's rough, guys. It's tough. It's a hard life I live, but I live it for all of us. It's great. Yeah, I got these size 18s, man. I'll tell you what, Bigfoot is real. I know this for a fact. Bigfoot is a real person. He's a person who got tired of hearing, you know what they say about big feet. Big socks, that's right, yes. Big disappointment is what I say. It's tough, man, it's so tough. I look like, when I was a child, I had these big feet. I looked like I was a living foosball character, right? Just, now I look more like the ball. It's rough, man. I love Poplar Bluff. I live here now, it's great. We got a lot of crackheads in Poplar Bluff. It's awesome, man. They get a bad rep. They really do get a bad rep. I'm here to stand up for them, okay? We complain about crackheads, but they're the hardest working people I've ever met. And they'll do it cheap, too. They'll do it for a pack of cigarettes and a Diet Coke. It's the best. Yes, they might take some stuff out of the back of your truck, yes, but you know what? They've earned it. They've earned it. And crackheads, I love crackheads. Crackheads are like Marines. If you know the Marine slogan, improvise, adapt, overcome. And I believe that's how crackheads live their every day. Something happens to a crackhead, what do? They improvise. They don't have a vehicle to carry their fridge. They pop it on their shoulder and drive their used Huffy bike. You know what I mean? It's great. It's great. I believe that we need to start a reality show called Crackhead Survivor Man. Because when this nuclear war finally does happen, and it will happen, there's only going to be 3 things left on this planet. There's going to be the 1%, there's going to be cockroaches, and there'll be crackheads, which is awesome. It's great to hear that crackheads will still have jobs, spraying the 1%'s home for bugs, But I think we start a show with crackheads. We just drop them on an island. We give them just a lighter, and I don't know, the chain off their bike. And I promise you, they will manage to build the best society you've ever seen. And we just offer them simple prizes, right? If you survive the whole trip, you get all the copper wire off your neighbor's trailer. I mean, it's a beautiful system. Talk to me after the show. We'll get it set up, okay? If you know any crackheads, just send them my way. Halloween's coming up. You guys excited for Halloween? Yeah, dude, I love Halloween. It's the best. Every year I go, though, I look like Sasquatch, even no matter what I'm dressed as. It sucks, but, it is what it is. I love Halloween. I love scary movies. Scary movies are they're my thing, man. I'll sit at night, watch scary movies, and turn every light in the house on before I can go to bed. But, I love it. It's great. My favorite scary movie is Halloween. It's the Michael Myers franchise. I love it. But for years, people have always said, why does Michael Myers just walk everywhere? But if I've learned anything from COVID-19, it's that you can't run wearing a mask. Have you ever tried it? You're out of breath immediately. So I get it. It makes sense. I think Michael Myers is the perfect example of the power of oh, wow. I was going to say a science joke, and then I lost the science term because I'm an idiot. The law of conservation of energy. Look at that. Look at that. I got it. Thank you. Law of conservation of energy. Yeah. He stores all this energy just walking to and from, and then he just super strength. I mean, it's amazing. It's great to see, Love scary movies. One thing I love more than scary movies, though, is commercials. I'm a big fan of commercials. You guys like commercials?
Yeah.
See, I usually get people who say they hate commercials. No one likes them. They get a bad rep. But let me tell you something. There's one series of commercials that hold a dear place in my heart, right? It was a series of commercials released by Trojan Condoms a few years back. Trojan Condoms released a series of commercials with a new mascot. He was this sexy version of Bob Ross. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Sexier version of Bob Ross. He had the big fro, soft silk clothes. While Bob Ross focused on one stroke, he taught a different one. But I love this series of commercials, but I have one problem with it. I don't know who on the marketing team decided that Bob Ross was the right mascot for condoms, because Bob Ross is a simple man, real simple man. He only had one motto: there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. And I don't think that's the right motto for condoms. You know, I don't know, something's off. I love commercials, but one set of commercials that I do hate are the shampoo commercials. I never feel like I'm represented properly in a shampoo commercial, right? They always have the guys washing their hair, just... They never show the guy like me who's this close to the sprayer, just like... I waterboard myself every time I wash my hair. It's awesome, dude. It sucks being tall. Jeremy, you have it so nice. Oh, sorry, Jeremy. Man. Having a good time up here, guys. It's nice. It's nice to be telling jokes. It's a lot better than my last gig, you know. My last gig, I was the voice of some audiobooks. You guys may have heard them. I only did pop-up audiobooks, though. So, here's an example. Clifford the Big Red Dog. Little Emily was giving her dog a walk to the park. But little Emily's dog is not like any other dog. Because Clifford was a big red dog. You know, pop-up audiobooks, whatever, yeah. We tried it, it's, whatever. Oh, man. I do have one question, though. See, this is my last joke. I'm going to leave you with this. My roommate, I've always been confused by this. Him and his girlfriend, they try to hide when they go to, you know, sex. They try to hide it from me, right? They try to hide it like I'm never going to be able to figure it out. They're grown adults. They can do whatever they want, whenever they want. I don't care. But the way they hide it is so confusing, you know? They go to their room and they just blare the same movie at full volume every single night. At first, I thought, man, these guys really love Shrek 2. But then on night 4, I was like, Shrek 2 is different than I remember. There's a lot more clapping than I thought there was, you know? It was confusing, right? But she never stays for the whole movie. She usually leaves right after the climax of it, you know? Which, it's so crazy. I didn't know this about my roommate, but he's a real emotional guy. Especially at the end of that movie, he's always crying. He's always crying, saying the same thing of, I thought it was longer, I promise I'll do better next time. I got nervous. You're just so pretty, you know. Oh, God. I can't. Oh, I love a PG show. All right, you know what, guys? I'm David Smith. I'm going to leave it at that before I get in trouble.
Thank you.
Mr. David Smith, heck yeah, that was great. Man, I don't know your roommate, but I've seen Shrek 2. It kind of does hit different than the other Shreks. It's a little different. This next guy, he's a good friend of mine. He's from Massac County, from Golconda, Illinois. Please welcome Mr. Cody Harris. Thank you, Jacob. Hey, y'all give it up for Jacob. This is Jacob's first time ever hosting a show. I already messed up once. Yikes. How's everybody doing tonight? It's a little cold. I wore my tight pants too, so no, that's not an acorn, y'all. Don't look. I know what y'all are thinking. Yes, the carpet does match the drapes. I don't be shaving down there though because I always end up with a hair in my mouth somehow. I don't even know how that's physically possible. How does it go up? You would think it would fall on the floor, but one always ends up in my mouth. I'm just happy to be here. I've been having a bad week. I've been looking forward to this show. Actually, this morning I pulled a muscle in my back chewing my toenails. Y'all have that. Any toenail chewers out there? I like chewing my toenails. You could get a floss, like a good floss afterwards too, if it's the perfect size. It's almost like it was meant to go in between your teeth. I'm just saying. We're just talking facts. Yeah, I've been having a lot of girl trouble recently. About
about a month ago, I asked a girl I had a crush out on. If I mess up again, y'all are gonna hear curse words for the first time. Somebody out here is gonna hear a curse word for the first time. I asked my crush out on a date. She said, "Ew, no, you're like a brother to me," which I thought was pretty racist. And it's 2022, you can't be saying that. That wasn't the worst part, though. She was my favorite cousin. So Thanksgiving is going to be awkward. I did get a girlfriend, though. Having a girlfriend is cool. Like, this girl, she motivates me in the weirdest ways. I've been trying to go to the gym recently, and I know I don't look any bigger, but I can tell that I'm getting stronger because now when I hit my girlfriend, she cries. I'm joking, y'all. I do not go to the gym. They used to think, when I was in high school, I got put in special ed for a while. They thought I was kind of slow. Like, I was slow in high school, but I was cool. So I rode the short bus, but I always sat in the back. I mean, they thought I really was kind of slow. For 10 years, I thought the capital of Utah was Jazz. I didn't know any better. They don't teach you that stuff. I did get put in special ed. I actually did get put in special ed for a while. That's what's sad. That's a new joke. I'm kind of rusty. I haven't done much stand-up, so I'm just kind of going to forget about that joke and just continue on. Just wandering around with your words. Can't see anybody's face. I see Jacob. You're kind of like, when I get lost, I'll just look over it and just talk to you. I got to get my notes out, y'all. Please bear with me. It's kind of spooky back there, isn't it? I'm kind of scared up here. I'm sure y'all are. Have y'all ever heard the saying, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice? Are we aware of that? Well, apparently that only applies to black women and not stray dogs in my neighborhood. Because it don't matter how you cook them, they all gonna taste the same. That's science. You don't beat science. I got a gay uncle. Anybody in here gay or ever have a gay uncle growing up? Okay, you find out the hard way? I'm just playing. The other day we were hanging out and he said, "You know what?" He said something that really bothered me. He said, "You know what? I think you might be a little bit homophobic." And I was taken back. I was like, I don't think you should give yourself that much credit, right? Like, I'm scared of snakes. I'm not really scared of gay people, you know? If I walked in the garage and there was a snake curled up in the corner, I would freak out. I might doo-doo on myself. You know, if I walked in the garage door and there was a gay dude in the corner, that might be kind of cool. He could probably help me decorate. Because I can't lie, I got too many wrestling posters in my house. I love to smoke marijuana. It's legal in Illinois, so we can talk about that. I love to smoke. What's better than watching wrestling when you're high? Because when you get high, it's real. That's when wrestling becomes real. You're like, this is real. I've got 6 cats. No cheers for that. Wow, y'all hate cats that much? I've had 6 cats for about 12 years, and I have had sex twice. So think about how hard it is, though, to bring a girl home to 6 cats. I have to put up a master plan. We get to the driveway, I'm like, wait right here. I go inside, I get 4 vacuum cleaners out. I just turn them on, make a trail of vacuum cleaners to the bedroom, turn the lights off, go back outside. I get her, she's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "What?" I can't hear because the vacuums are going. I'm like, "What?" She's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "This neighborhood's haunted." Just get in the bedroom, and then I just try my best. I'm just really happy to be there, really. I love Jacob's laugh. One thing about Jacob, he's got the best laugh. You know he would be so much fun to tickle. Like, yeah, I just want to... I don't know if that's straight of me to say, but I want to tickle you, bro. We were in the car. I was looking over at his neck. I was about to get him. I was like... He was nervous as hell. He was crying. He was nervous as heck. Not bad, y'all. I don't usually do clean stand-up. I wish y'all could hear... If y'all... I'm a foul-mouthed young man. I'm up here. I feel like I'm in front of, like, I'm at a parent-teacher conference just trying to be all nice. I got beef with blind guys. If blind guys, I'm not racist, but if blind people were a race, I would be. I just don't like. I lost 2 fights to the same blind guy growing up. They're actually, I don't know if it's their like something to make. They're really strong. I found out that out the hard way. I'm a good fighter though. Like I got a saying, I never lose 5 fights in a row, and that's true. I'll never lose 5 fights in a row. I've been in 6. I was throwing up blood yesterday morning. There was a Crip across the street. Y'all know I be gangbanging. I'm just kidding. Speaking of, it is almost Halloween time, ain't it? Give it up for Halloween. I'll tell you what I'm scared of. Midgets. I just want to know, how did they, I don't understand how they got here. Do y'all think they put 2 of them on Noah's Ark? They don't write about that. These are the questions you got to sit and think about this stuff. Y'all aren't really thinking. Or y'all aren't smoking enough pot. I don't know what's up with you. That's when the best ideas come out. My friends always ask me, why don't you sleep around more, man? Why don't you try to get with more girls? I'm like, bro, I gotta keep this tiny pecker a secret. I can't spread this around town, brother. I'm trying to get married. That's why I'm on Christian Mingle. You can find a good Christian girl that'll save herself for marriage. I'm about to trap one of them. I'm going there like, you don't even know what you're about to get into. About to have to pull this baby bird out the nest. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what else we got in here. Give me a second, y'all. I wrote this in Spanish. I don't know why I did that. I was thinking, why I would write it in Spanish. I don't know why I did that. Guess I'm just really smart. Let's see. I'm gonna try to find one really funny one, like a really good one that doesn't have any cuss words in it. Man, I guess I'll try to do this as clean as possible. I'm a construction worker. Can we give it up for the construction workers one time, y'all? Yeah. I work with a lot of lesbians though. Like every girl, it sucks because every girl I work with is pretty much like a straight guy. Like I work with 4 lesbians, including me. The other day we were sitting around eating lunch and they were telling sexual intercourse stories, and it was like hearing war stories. I couldn't even choke down my nacho Lunchable my mom packed for me. And I was upset too because all day I knew I had a Butterfinger in there waiting for me. I couldn't even eat that. But I guess I'll get out of here on that one because I like to cuss, y'all. I'm sorry, and I'm scared I'm going to slip up. But y'all, this has been so much fun. Jacob, I'm not done yet, dude. Maybe I wasn't done yet. Maybe I had an outro, dude. So now you're just walking in front of me. Feel it, bro, because they're all looking at you now. Look at it. Look how awkward it is. All right. I'm Cody Harris, y'all. Thank you.
Cody Harris, ladies and gentlemen. You know, Cody, I got a little wiener, too. Yeah, you know, my wiener's so little it don't even cast a shadow. I got a little Peter Pan penis. Yeah. All right, this next guy, he's our special guest, you know, so give him a big round of applause. Performing across the country. You've heard him on Ziggs and... oh, this is dark. I'm sorry, I can't see this very well. Mancow. You see him on Newsmax and Real America's Voice, and you can catch him on Richard Cason Radio Network Mondays. Frank's Speech and on Patreon. Please welcome Mr. Richard Cason.
Another big round of applause for Jacob Sullivan, everybody. Let him know. Jake Sullivan, Biden's national security advisor, doing a bang-up job on that whole Ukraine thing. Is this thing going to hold me?
You're good.
This feels like something Cubans escaped to America on, so... Whenever I stepped up here, it felt like a waterbed mattress, so I'm just kind of... Another big round of applause for Jacob and all these other guys that came up here tonight. Yeah. Coming in from all over the country, Tennessee, Kentucky, Culin, from all over America, so... But my name is Richard Cason. I haven't got to do this for a little while, but it's good to be back up here. To be honest, I was afraid I was going to be a little late, hit some road construction on the way here. They got traffic narrowed down to one lane, big orange sign on the side of the road flashing a message that says, "Don't text and drive, don't text and drive, don't text and drive." And I'm like, don't text and drive. That's a really good idea. They got oh, shit. And I'm passing out. That's actually the only reason I came here to the Green Oasis. I thought this was a dispensary gig. So. 26 years in comedy. I've been on television a couple of times, and I'm playing the backyard of a hot dog stand. So clearly I have made the right career choice. But yeah, the one lane, it eventually turned back into 4 lanes, and that's when a cop got behind me, pulled me over, walks up to the car and says, "Well, I can smell your weed, sir." And I said, "Well, I got a medical card. I can smoke." "Well, that's only in your residence, sir." I said, "Do you see all my clothes and all this shit in here? Does it not look like I'm living in this thing?" No. Got into town, and I saw over on Pine Street, you guys finally got rid of that Plaza Motel, finally, after all these years. Guess I'll have to get my STDs from somewhere else. I was really looking forward to that. Now, I haven't been on stage in a couple of years. Give you an idea how long it's been since I was last on stage. We had a different president, Herbert Hoover, back in 1932. Gas was a little cheaper last time I was on stage. Last time I was on stage, you didn't have to go to the bank to apply to fill up your tank, so. But, no, this is actually a fun place. I don't do a lot of outdoor venues. If I was on acid or something, this would be really trippy, I'm sure. But I really like what you've done with the place, that I can see of it. This is actually better than a lot of the places I perform. When you do comedy and you start going on the road, it's not always comedy clubs. You work a lot of alternative venues. In my case, it's a lot of places down dirt roads from Deliverance, you know. Or I'm the opening act for a pool table and a trivia machine half the time. All part of my shitholes of the Greater Midwest tour. So. Do a lot of sports bars. There was actually a scheduling snafu back when I was still on the road. I got double booked at a sports bar up against a cornhole tournament.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure knowing this part of the country, we all know what cornhole is. If there's anyone here who doesn't know what cornhole is, cornhole basically is horseshoes for idiots. If you want the PC version, it's special people's horseshoes. It's for the type of people that if throwing the curved piece of metal up against the straight piece of metal is a little complicated for you, don't worry. We got cornhole. But, yeah, what a name, cornhole. When I was a kid, we had a similar activity, but it had a much more family-friendly name. We called it beanbag toss. And if you're 4, it's a lot of fun. I guess some gay hillbilly came along, saw a game of beanbag toss, and was like, "Bend over, Zeke. I'm going to see how many beanbags I can toss in your cornhole. Here we go. You're going to have to dilate more. They're just going to keep bouncing out." Is that clean enough? You kids don't remember any of this. But, yeah, I actually started my career here in Poplar Bluff back in the mid-'90s at a little radio station you may have heard of, Clear 94, KKLR, by round of applause. Anybody? Yeah? Yeah, I was kind of a different sort of a country DJ. I was like a late-night country shock jock. It was basically a lot of calls from old women that are requesting their dead husband's favorite songs, and me trying to get them to admit that they own at least one pair of thong underwear. Come on, Gladys. Some of the people that would call up to the radio station, they were always fun. They would be doing their own stunts half the time, and I'd put them on the air. I remember Dennis from Bloomfield. Yeah, let's talk to Dennis in Bloomfield. Him and his friends are at a house party, and they're going to see if they can last 8 seconds on a floor buffer. You're on the air, Dennis. Go. You got this? What? You say you got the hind legs of a sheep in the front part of your rubber boots? What's that about? Bunch of freaks over there in Bloomfield. I lived there for 5 years. A couple of them were neighbors. heard weird noises with dogs, and so. Oh, I forgot. Clean show. Clean. Okay. Well, that's my time. No. Jeez. This thing feels just like some sort of recycled playground equipment. I'm not going to be sitting on this lipstick-looking apparatus here. Knowing my ass, I'm going to. That'd be a good closer. If I just break the stage and I follow that. But nah, jobs are hard. Life can get pretty hard sometimes. That's why back home I am known by my Cherokee name, Broken Spirit. But things are looking up because whenever we wrap up the show tonight, I will be staying at the fabulous, luxurious Hotel Lincoln. And if you don't know where that is, it's the white four-door sedan out there in the parking lot. You can probably still see it. Are we enjoying this autumn weather, our autumnal evening breeze? This is not my favorite time of the year. I'm more of a spring and summer guy. I like to go camping whenever I can, do that as much as possible. This past Memorial Day weekend, I had gotten a late start on my trip. I was just running behind all day long, and I finally get out to the campsite, and I'm poking around in the woods trying to find firewood in the dark, and finally find enough wood, and I get it going. And what I didn't realize was that all of the wood was covered in poison ivy. But I found out. Smell that deep poison ivy aroma. Yeah, I woke up the next morning, I had a poison ivy rash all over my face, poison ivy rash all over my stomach. Somehow the poison ivy rash had snuck through the back door. I don't know how that happened. You know how whenever you scratch it in your sleep and it just goes... The itch was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I could only put up with about 2 days of that. I finally went and got some of the... Well, I tried a natural remedy first, actually. I just ate a bunch of pine cones, hoping that whenever I passed it, it would scratch right through the itch. But I finally went to Walgreens and I got some of this Preparation H cooling gel. Went home and applied the cooling gel to the affected area, and not only was my rectal itch eliminated, but it felt like my ass was smoking a pack of Newports. So. Yeah. Kind of a twofer. So as you can see, I am a pillar of fitness. Yeah. Last time I took getting into shape seriously, the Wii Fit had just hit the market. So it's been a day or two. One of the saddest days in my life, I was at a friend's house. They had just bought a Wii Fit system. We thought we were all going to get into shape, you know, creating a character and running a virtual 5K with Mario and Donkey Kong like a bunch of idiots. And finally my turn. I step on this Wii balance pad, an amazing piece of electronics. This thing, I'll tell you, I stepped on there and it measured my exact weight, my exact body mass index, the exact day of the week that my weight and body mass index was going to take me down. They are tag teaming against me. But before it even measured anything, see, this thing is super accurate, but it's really snide in how it tells you. Because before it even measured anything, I stepped up there, and it goes, ooh, ouch. And so I stepped off of it really quick, and my friends were like, no, get back on there. Get back, see what else it says. You whale. But, you know I'm heavy. I know I'm a little bit overweight, but obese? I mean, come on. I always thought obese was like the mom and What's Eating Gilbert Grape. That's obese. 760 and up. But when the video game is made in a country where the average weight of a human being is 91 pounds, 270, you morbidly obese, Richard Cason. Morbidly obese. But I guess I'm doing okay for not having done this shit for a couple of years. Yeah, not too bad. COVID lockdown, that kind of got in the way of it. Plus, I was babysitting a radio show, so I couldn't get on stage as much as I like to. But that COVID virus, it really screwed a lot of things up. Whenever the coronavirus first hit, I don't know if you heard, the sales of Corona beer plummeted so bad they came this close to changing their name to AIDS. One more bad quarter, and you are going to be drinking AIDS on a beach with Snoop Dogg. But I guess I'll refer to my note card here. This is the one bit that I'm not super secure on. I only did this once drunk down in Florida, so what else do I have? Oh, yeah. We think that we're tough. You know, we think we can go through these lockdowns and panic and social unrest. We think we're resilient enough to do it, but we don't have the stomach for that shit. 2 days into this thing proved it. We were shooting each other over unperforated toilet paper from an elementary school. No dotted lines, fine. It wipes, fine. Just take it. What else do I have here? Toilet paper, check. Oh, yeah. Saw a friend of mine. He was shopping at the store. He's in law enforcement, so that gave him the right to wear his black police-grade rubber gloves, kind that Styx wears on live PD when he's digging through some meth cook's Crown Royal bag. Got anything that's going to poke me or stick me? Anything that's going to poke me or stick me? All right, that one worked. Let's just go down the list here. Oh, yeah, some other friends of mine, they were super paranoid about that. Not the friends that came to the show with me tonight, some other friends. They were super paranoid whenever COVID first happened. They went on lockdown. They nailed a note to the outside of their door like Martin Luther's 95 Theses or something. If there was more Lutherans in the audience, that would be a solid joke. And I forgot I was in Baptist country. Meanwhile, I go to a Baptist church, so it's all fun. But people, they were super paranoid about it. They didn't know how to act. They didn't know how to function. People. I was fairly laissez-faire about it. People are like, "Well, you're not a medical expert. You're not a medical." No, but I am one of the nation's leading hypochondriacs. Okay. Whenever I get a sore throat, I automatically chalk it up to throat cancer. When I accidentally drop something, I immediately jump to ALS. But I knew this was a bunch of media hype from the start, having worked in the media a time or two, off and on. What else do I have? Oh, yeah. I was down in Florida actually talking about this, and at one point this guy pipes up and he says, "Well, my aunt died from COVID." Yeah, so did mine. Everyone had an aunt that died from COVID. She was 87. She had asthma. And if it wasn't the COVID that got her, it would have been the heart attack at the surprise party for her turning 88. So when it's your time, it's your time. A little dark for you? You taking notes, kids? This is how you do comedy. But one good thing that came out of the whole COVID thing, the so-called pandemic, was the 6-foot rule. Oh, I love the 6-foot rule. Could you imagine all of the wars and social upheaval for generations mankind could have avoided if we all stayed 6 feet apart? Can you imagine that? I like the marks on the floor denoting every 6 feet. I think we should have taken it a step further. I think we should walk around with 6-foot Roman spears attached to Steadicam harnesses. So we just... If you back into my spear, you got too close. If I back onto yours, that's on me. It's how we keep distance here. Social distancing. What else do I have here? Yeah. I tried to get back to normal as quickly as I could at the height of the pandemic because I figured it was a lot of media hype, so I just tried to get back to normal. I was shaking hands. I was coughing directly into people's faces. Business as usual. Just like, oh, oh, that's the one you don't like? Been up here for 12 minutes and you didn't like that one. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, yeah. So I was at Dollar General, again, at the height of the pandemic. Again, we didn't know what we were dealing with. It was signs everywhere, wear a mask, wear gloves. And at this Dollar General store, they had a sign at the checkout that it says, "At-risk customers will be given priority." Yeah, I'm really not going to trust the judgment of a Dollar General assistant manager with a name tag that says Star Child to decide who exactly is at risk and who is not. Star Child, check. Oh yeah, and then crime, of course. That was a big thing. See, because in the inner cities, when you have a requirement for people to wear a mask, That's actually going to increase the rate of crime in your cities. I remember in New York, crime was up like 40% 2 months into the pandemic. Guy got robbed, and the cop asked him, well, did you get a good look at the robber? Do you know what he looked like? Yeah, he was wearing a surgical mask. That narrows it down to about 12 billion. That's my time. I'm Richard Cason. Thanks for indulging me. You guys have a good night. Thanks.
Richard Cason, guys. Man, you got me thinking. I'm from the sticks, dude, and we grew up playing cornhole, man. I never played horseshoes once. I don't even know what horseshoes is, dude. What you talking about? Our next guy, I've seen this guy. He's great. He's a ball of energy. You love to watch him. He's just a blast. He performs in several states. He's our headliner, the firecracker, Mr. J. Jackson.
Jacob, thank you, baby. Thank you. It is so good to be here in Poplar Bluff tonight. The Green Oasis. Jeremy, thank you for getting us group of morons together to get up here and do this. I appreciate it. Before I get started, I want to introduce somebody. My mom came up from Arkansas. Mom, stand up right there. There's my mom right there. First time. So if I stink, it's her fault, and you can turn her into the authorities, all right? My mom saves animals. She rescues animals. I think that's a noble thing. Yeah, that is a great thing. Anybody here like cats? Are you cats? Oh, you like the cats, huh? You love it. You're a cat person. Well, I think they're demons. Little demons in cute, adorable, furry pajamas, but demons just the same. Yeah, my wife's got 2 of them, and they're trying to take over the house. They're trying to take over the house. Oh, yeah, the other day I had a glass of milk on the end table in the living room. The cat came in. He walked right up to the glass. He looked at me with a dead look in his eyes, put his paw right up on it, and I said, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Please don't do it. And you know what he did? He did it. Pushed it right over and took off. That's a jerk move. That is a jerk move. But they're getting more bolder and crazier. The other day I was laying in bed and I was just about to get up, and this has happened about 3 times. I'm laying in bed, I'm just about to open my eyes, and when I did, the cat was this close to me. His tail was in the air and his butthole was about that far from my eye. Yeah, what the heck? I said, get out of here. Get. My wife said, no, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That means he likes you. He trusts you. Have you ever heard of that before? I've never heard of that before. That is a very peculiar personal trait right there. But I'll remember that, because if anybody ever comes up to my wife and exposes himself to her, I'll say, no. He likes you. He trusts you. That's right. And I'm telling you what, I probably shouldn't tell this story here. But this is a true story. Sometimes I'm laying in bed, and if the covers are below my man boobs, that cat will run across there and take a nip and run. And I'll say, what the heck? But I gotta tell you guys something. It ain't that bad. No, but you gotta suppress those feelings. You gotta push them down deep, because you can't give in to those feelings. But I know the cat liked it. I know he did, because when I went to look for him, yeah, he was laying on his back staring at the ceiling smoking a cigarette. What a little freak. What a little freak. Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is JJ, and I have been married for 26 years. 26 years, yeah. And I've also been on anti-anxiety medicine for 26 years. Coincidence? Perhaps. I'm going to break down 26 years for you, all right? Here we go. 26 years is a little over a quarter of a century. Quarter of a century. It is a tick over 2.5 decades. It's a prison sentence. I'm just saying, if I'd killed her, I'd be getting out about now. Something to think about. 26 years. That's basically my love life has been reduced to pickpockets and the kindness of strangers. Sad but true. 26 years. You know, people come up to me all the time. They see me out and about, and they say, Jay, how do you do it? How do you stay together for 26 years? What is your secret? Oh, you want to know my secret? I'll tell you my secret. I know when to shut the heck up. Right, ladies? Right? Sometimes we got to shut the heck up. If your lady wakes up and she's in a bad mood and cranky and grouchy and looking for a fight, shut the heck up. Yeah, I'm giving you all some good advice out there. If your lady asks you, how do you really feel about my mother? Shut the heck up. Shut the heck up. If she asks you, do you think our waitress is attractive? That's a trap. That is a trap. Yeah, talking to your wife's like I'm talking to the police. Everything you say can and will be held against you. Oh, yeah, they don't forget nothing. Nothing. And they'll come back and bite you. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. It might be 10 years down the line. But one day your lady's going to come home and she's going to say, hey, me and the girls are going to go out to eat. And you'll say, oh, yeah, what restaurant you going to? And she'll say, oh, you know the one. Yeah, you know the one. The one that's got that waitress you wanted. Oh, I didn't see that one coming. That was a real haymaker. But can I tell you something? I knew which restaurant she was talking about. Yeah. And she knew I knew which restaurant she was talking about. That's some supernatural stuff going on right there. That is next level stuff. So let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Women are smarter than us. They are, right? Right? Women are smarter than the guys. They are. My wife is way smarter than me, but, you know, I'm not setting the bar very high right there. You know, I mean, we're playing checkers and they're playing chess. You show me a guy that was married for 7 years and now is all alone and half his stuff is gone, and I'll show you a guy didn't know when to shut the heck up. So rule number 1, shut the heck up. Yeah. We got any married people in the crowd? Are y'all married right there? All right, very good. 6 years? 26 years! 26 years! Yeah, you guys got that beat? Anybody's got that beat out there? 13, well, congratulations, 13. So you know what I'm talking about. Well, I don't want to give you guys all the wrong idea. In the beginning, it was great. Oh, yeah, we were young, wild, and free, and we got freaky. Yeah. And then that second week started, and it all went downhill from there. I remember she used to have the cutest little nicknames for me. She used to say stuff like, come here and sit by me, Dumpling. Oh, Dumpling. Ain't that sweet? Ain't that sweet? Or she'd say, hey, can you open up this pickle jar for me? Sugar Lips. Oh, Sugar Lips. And now she just says stuff like, well, look who didn't fill up the ice tray. Moron. Moron. Isn't that precious? Oh, yeah, that is precious. Oh, my goodness. Well, you know, my wife's always giving me jobs to do. I mean, honey, go do this, go do that. It's never ending. I get one of her jobs done, she's got 2 more waiting on me. So I got a little advice for all y'all out there. If your lady ever gives you a job to do and you don't want to do it, screw it up so bad, she'll never ask you to do it again. Yeah, my lady gave me a job to do. Yeah, that's right. Amen out there. That's right. My lady gave me a job to do, and she said, I want you to go get the groceries, and don't forget to pick up some ice cream. We got a kids' party this weekend. So I said, all right, I'll go get your groceries. And I wanted to please her, so I thought I did a good job. You know, I get in there, and I get every item on there. If she wants mayonnaise, if she wants Miracle Whip, I better get that Miracle Whip, better not get that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I did a good job. But as soon as I get home, she grabs the bags out of my hands. She goes over the table and she inspects every item like I'm a moron. Yeah. And she gets down to that final item. She goes, what the heck is that? And I said, oh, yeah, that's that ice cream you wanted. She goes, oh, my God. Come here. Come here. I want to talk to you. Come on. Get on over here. Get your butt over here, Sugar Lips. I want to show you something. You see this right here on the package? That's a dog. That is a dog on this package. You see that right there? It says Frosty Paws. Yeah, this is dog ice cream. We can't be serving it to the kids. What the heck's the matter with you? And I said, dog ice cream? Why the heck do dogs have ice cream anyway? Yeah, it was in there with all the other ice creams. And let me tell you something. I want to tell you something, woman. I seen a bunch of ice cream in there with penguins on it. I know that ice cream wasn't for no freaking penguins. But you know what? Yeah, that's right. But I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to fight. I'll eat that ice cream, and I ate it like a man. Like a man. That's right. That's right. And let me tell you something. That dog ice cream wasn't that bad. No. Had just a hint of grilled chicken. Had little flakes of tuna sprinkled all over it. That dog ice cream was really darn good, but it just had one side effect. Made me want to attack the mailman. Yeah. A Sunday afternoon of football watching, ice cream eating, and biting the mailman on the leg. You can sign me up for that. Well, I want to say something, Poplar Bluff. I don't get down here very much, but I want to tell you something. You guys are a good-looking crowd. This is a good-looking people here in Poplar Bluff. I'm going to tell you what, we got some pretty ladies out there, handsome couples, some good-looking fellas. This is a handsome crowd. There is not a clunker in the bunch. Yeah, let me tell you something. This is not normal. This is the exception, not the rule. Now, I'm from Arkansas, okay, and we have a few good-looking people down there, but let me tell you something. As soon as they can, they get the hell out of there. Yeah, so we got a lot of fives with attitudes running around down there. Yeah, I came into town today, and I went out to one of your parks. And I'm telling you what, this is a beautiful city. I went to one of your parks. I watched the sun come up. I'm sitting out there kind of meditating, and I see a bunch of old people come out there. And they come out there in the morning, they start exercising. You know, they're doing some of this. I don't know what the hell that is. They're doing some of this, you know. And I looked out there and I said, man, this is some good-looking old people. This is some good-looking old people. I seen a young mom pushing a stroller down the path. She had a little baby. She got the baby out. She's playing with the baby. And I'm walking by, and I take a little look. I glance over that baby, and that was one ugly baby. Turns out it was from Illinois. Yeah, that explains everything, all right? So then I go to my buddy's house, and I turn on the Channel 2 News at noon, and the lead story was about some guy here in Poplar Bluff. He was all methed out down at the pet cemetery exposing himself to people. Yeah, what a freak. Yeah, but then they put his mugshot up on the TV, and I kind of got caught in his gaze. This guy had chiseled features, manicured chest hair, and one hellacious tan. I'm just saying, if I'm down at that pet cemetery and this guy comes out from around the tombstone, starts whirly-birding me, I'm not going to complain. I'm not calling the cops. Probably going to high-five him, wash my hands very vigorously, and say, you got to do what you do. Go on with your bad self, sir. And anyway, it just means he likes you. He trusts you. Well, my name's J.J. Jackson. Thank you very much. Jacob, you're the man. Jeremy, thank you very much. And here you go.
That was great. JJ, everybody. One of a kind. How about a round of applause for the comics? Just everybody. A round of applause for yourself. Y'all were a great audience tonight. Y'all really were. Thank you again to the Green Oasis for having us and letting us do this. This was a lot of fun. And good night, everybody. Thank you for coming out.